Get ready to rumble. Step into the ring with the iconic George Foreman, widely recognized as the most powerful boxer in history. With fists forged from pure dynamite and an indomitable spirit, Foreman towers above all as the embodiment of raw power and unrivaled athleticism. Each thunderous blow delivered by his colossal arms reverberates with the echoes of history. From the iconic rumble in the jungle to his legendary comeback, let's celebrate the incredible legacy of George Foreman, the ultimate knockout king. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of the latest updates on our channel. George Edward Foreman, born on January 10, 1949, is an esteemed American personality renowned for his illustrious career as a professional boxer, as well as his achievements as an entrepreneur, minister, and author. Throughout his boxing journey, he garnered the moniker Big George and actively competed from 1967 to 1997, leaving an indelible mark in the sport. Notably, he emerged as a two-time world heavyweight champion and an esteemed Olympic gold medalist. However, George Foreman's impact extended beyond the boxing ring, as he became widely recognized for his entrepreneurial prowess, particularly for introducing the highly successful George Foreman Grill. George Foreman hails from the vibrant city of Marshall, Texas. His formative years were spent in the close-knit Fifth Ward community of Houston, Texas, where he shared his upbringing with 6 siblings. While J.D. Foreman, his stepfather, played a prominent role in his upbringing, it is worth noting that his biological father was Leroy Moorhead. George's candid memoirs reveal a tumultuous youth, marked by personal struggles and challenges. At the tender age of 15, he made the regrettable decision to abandon his education and engage in criminal activities, resorting to a life of mugging. However, the course of George Foreman's life took an extraordinary turn when, at the age of 16, a transformative moment compelled him to reassess his choices. Witnessing a compelling advertisement for the Job Corps on television, he implored his mother to enroll him in the program, a decision that would alter the trajectory of his future. Following his time in the Job Corps, George Foreman ventured westward, settling in the enchanting city of Pleasanton, California. Assisted by a compassionate supervisor, he embarked on a new chapter, one intertwined with his passion for physical pursuits. While his initial inclination leaned towards football, with an ardent admiration for the great Jim Brown, George ultimately opted to dedicate himself wholeheartedly to the noble art of boxing. George Foreman made his professional debut in 1969, showcasing his formidable skills by knocking out Donald Walheim in a 3-round match in New York City. Throughout that year, he participated in a total of 13 fights, emerging victorious in all of them, with an impressive 11 knockouts. In 1970, Foreman continued his relentless pursuit of the undisputed heavyweight title, winning all 12 of his matches, 11 of which were knockouts. Notable among his defeated opponents was Gregorio Peralta, whom he outpointed at Madison Square Garden. Despite Peralta's ability to exploit Foreman's vulnerability to quick counterpunching and assertive boxing styles, Foreman emerged victorious. The year 1971 brought 7 more wins for Foreman, each concluded by knockout. This included a rematch with Peralta, whom he knocked out in the 10th and final round in Oakland, California. With an undefeated record of 32-0, including 29 knockouts, Foreman earned the esteemed position of the #1 contender in the World Boxing Association and World Boxing Council rankings. In their earlier days, George Foreman and Sonny Liston engaged in intense sparring sessions. George Foreman, a renowned boxer, admitted that out of all the fighters he encountered, Sonny Liston was the only one capable of pushing him backward. These encounters occurred shortly after Foreman turned professional. During an interview with Ring magazine, George shared his admiration for Sonny Liston and Muhammad Ali, recognizing their exceptional jabbing skills among all the fighters he encountered both inside and outside the ring. Reflecting on his experiences, George disclosed, "Sparring with Liston posed the greatest peril I have ever faced in my entire life. Regardless of my attempts, it was always me who had to resort to boxing tactics when facing him. Sonny Liston forced me to elevate my boxing skills, an aspect he taught me, particularly emphasizing the significance of the jab. Struggling with his jab, George disclosed that Sonny had him diligently practicing it every day, even though there were instances when Liston could have delivered a devastating blow, but refrained from doing so due to their solid friendship. George also acknowledged adopting some of Sonny's intimidating behaviors, influenced by the way Liston stared down opponents. This association contributed to the emergence of Bad George, as George aimed to replicate some of Sonny's intimidation tactics. In 1972, the undefeated and powerful boxer George Foreman prepared to challenge Joe Frazier, the undefeated and undisputed world heavyweight champion. Frazier had previously won the title from Jimmy Ellis and successfully defended it 4 times, even defeating Muhammad Ali in a 15-round unanimous decision. Despite Foreman's impressive record and physical advantages, he was considered the underdog with odds of 3-1 against him. The highly anticipated match, known as the Sunshine Showdown, took place on January 22, 1973 in Kingston, Jamaica. Foreman displayed his dominance throughout the fight and ultimately won the championship by TKO, technical knockout. During the fight, Foreman knocked Frazier down a total of 6 times within just 2 rounds. Although the 3 knockdown rule was not in effect for this bout, Frazier's balance and movement were severely compromised after the second knockdown, making it difficult for him to avoid Foreman's powerful combinations. Foreman's next title defense against Muhammad Ali on October 30, 1974, in Kinshasa, Zaire, was a historic event. Known as the Rumble in the Jungle, the fight surpassed all expectations. During training in mid-September, Foreman suffered a cut above his eye, leading to a 1-month postponement of the match. This injury affected his training routine as he couldn't spar and risk reopening the cut. Foreman later remarked that this incident worked in Ali's favor, allowing him to tour Zaire and gain public support while taunting Foreman. During the match, Ali endured punishing blows to the body in exchange for the chance to strike Foreman's head. Ali admitted to being dazed twice during the match. As Foreman tired, his punches lost power and became increasingly wild. With growing confidence, Ali taunted the exhausted champion relentlessly, reducing Foreman to feeble punches. In the 8th round, Ali delivered a series of powerful hooks to the side and back of Foreman's head, leaving him dazed and stumbling. A final combination of left hook and right straight to Foreman's jaw sent him crashing to the canvas, marking the first time he had been knocked down in his career. Foreman later described the fight as simply not being his night, and even claimed to have been drugged by his trainer beforehand. Despite his desire for a rematch, Foreman couldn't secure one. Some suggested Ali was avoiding him, opting for less risky opponents. After his fight, Foreman fell ill in his dressing room, struck by exhaustion and heat stroke. During this time, he had a profound encounter that nearly cost him his life. He described being trapped in a horrifying void of hopelessness and emptiness, realizing he was on the brink of death. Despite not being religious at the time, Foreman found himself pleading with God for assistance. He sensed a divine calling to transform his life and ways. Following this life-altering experience, Foreman underwent a spiritual transformation and embraced Christianity wholeheartedly. For the next 10 years, he dedicated his life to God. Although he didn't formally retire from boxing, Foreman ceased fighting and became an ordained minister. He began his preaching journey by delivering sermons on street corners and eventually became the minister of the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ in Houston. His focus shifted toward his family, congregation, and the establishment of a youth center bearing his name. In 1987, after a decade away from boxing, George Foreman surprised the sports world with an announcement. He was making a comeback at the age of 38. In his autobiography, Foreman revealed that his main motivation for returning to the ring was to raise funds for the youth center he had established. Creating the center had depleted much of the money he had earned in the early stages of his career. Additionally, Foreman expressed his ambition to fight against Mike Tyson. Foreman's first fight took place in Sacramento, California, where he faced off against journeyman Steve Zuski. Despite appearing out of shape and weighing 267 pounds, 121 kilograms, Foreman triumphed by knocking out Zuski in the 4th round. While some believed his decision to return was a mistake, Foreman aimed to prove that age should not limit people from achieving their goals. Throughout the year, Foreman won 4 more fights, gradually improving his fitness and slimming down. In 1988, he achieved victory in 9 matches, including a notable 7th-round knockout of former light heavyweight and cruiserweight champion Dwight Muhammad Qawi. As Foreman continued his comeback in 1989, he formed a friendship with Muhammad Ali and followed Ali's footsteps in becoming a celebrity outside the boxing world. Foreman maintained his winning streak, securing 5 more victories, including a 3-round triumph over Burt Cooper, who would later challenge Evander Holyfield for the undisputed heavyweight title. Foreman showcased remarkable grace and philosophical resilience following his loss to Briggs. Shortly thereafter, he announced his final retirement from boxing. However, in a surprising turn of events, Foreman revealed plans for a comeback fight against Larry Holmes in 1999. The fight, aptly named the Birthday Bash, was intended to celebrate the upcoming birthdays of both fighters. Foreman stood to earn an impressive $10 million, while Holmes was poised to receive $4 million. Regrettably, negotiations fell through, resulting in the cancellation of the highly anticipated bout. Foreman initially declared he had no intentions of returning to the boxing ring, but in February 2004, he made a surprising announcement. Motivated to prove that age 55 should not be viewed as a death sentence, he began training for one last comeback fight. Although the opponent remained unspecified, rumors circulated that it would be Trevor Berbick. However, this much-anticipated bout failed to materialize, with speculation suggesting that Foreman's wife played a significant role in the change of plans. Subsequently, George Foreman bid farewell to boxing. And with this, we reach the end of today's video. What do you think about today's video? Share your opinion. Do let us know in the comments section below, and if you liked today's video, give us a thumbs up and do not forget to hit the subscribe. Share this video with your friends and family and press the bell icon for more upcoming videos. We'll see you next time with a newer video. Stay tuned and take care.